The proposed 27th Amendment to the Constitution of Pakistan is shaping up to be one of the most consequential changes in the country in recent times. At its core, it would revise key provisions, particularly Article 243, which governs the appointment and roles of the armed forces, and in effect, grants significantly enhanced powers and legal protections to Field Marshal Asim Munir, currently the Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army. The revision of Article 243 will recognize and constitutionally enshrine the rank of Field Marshal and create a new post of Chief of Defence Forces to whom all service chiefs will report. The National Strategic Command will be fully under the Army's umbrella. The amendment will also create a federal constitutional court, alter the appointment procedures for judges, and change the powers of the existing Supreme Court and High Courts. By recognizing the Field Marshal rank constitutionally rather than a mere executive decision, the amendment gives Munir a legal standing and permanence beyond the usual retirement horizon. More importantly, with judicial and institutional reforms occurring simultaneously, the amendment is seen as reinforcing immunities and limiting accountability for the top military office, where many legal experts say no case can ever be filed against him for his entire life. What sets Asim Munir's career apart is his rapid trajectory through intelligence commands. He served as Director General of Military Intelligence in early 2017, then as Director General of the ISI from October 2018 to June 2019. These appointments gave him exposure to both internal security operations and geopolitical intelligence, building a reputation as a spy master general. On 24th November 2022, the Pakistan government appointed him as Chief of Army Staff, superseding other senior officers. That month itself, the term length for service for military chiefs was extended from 3 to 5 years, cementing Munir's expected stay until 2027. On 20th May 2025, after Pakistan's terror and military bases were leveled by India in Operation Sindoor, Munir was promoted to the rank of Field Marshal, only the second person in Pakistan's history to attain that rank. These moves were widely interpreted as not merely ceremonial, but as signals of deeper institutional change, positioning Munir at the very apex of Pakistan's military security architecture. As Pakistan faces a more aggressive and decisive India that is maintaining the red lines over cross-border terror, Munir has politically emerged as a national security guarantor and decision maker, which has further elevated his standing in Pakistan's power structure. Asim Munir has come to exert an unusually broad and consequential influence on Pakistan's foreign policy, effectively transforming the country's external posture under his leadership. Munir's reach has extended beyond purely military matters into diplomacy, strategy, and geoeconomics, a phenomenon sometimes described as the Munir Doctrine. From his direct dealings with Trump, NATO, and Arab powers in defense, economics, and strategic affairs, walking a mile ahead of Shehbaz Sharif, both in optics and tangibles, he has effectively nullified the office of the Prime Minister of Pakistan. At the heart of this shift is his insistence that Pakistan should no longer be locked into a binary agreement between the United States and China. By elevating military leadership into the diplomatic sphere and emphasizing geoeconomics as a strategic tool, he advocates that Pakistan should play the role of a middle power in South Asia rather than merely a frontline ally in other rivalries. Pakistan is confronting a complex and deteriorating internal security environment marked by violent protests, terror attacks, and cross-border skirmishes. One significant dimension is the resurgence of the hardline Islamist group, the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. The TLP turned violent in October when its supporters clashed with security forces during a march towards Islamabad, resulting in casualties, prompting the federal government to outlaw the party under anti-terror legislation. A second flashpoint was a suicide bombing outside a district court complex in Islamabad, in which at least 12 people were killed and around 27 were injured, the deadliest attack in the capital in nearly a decade. The government attributed it to militants based in neighboring Afghanistan involving the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Thirdly, along the long rugged Durand line, the de facto border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, both forces have engaged in intense skirmishes in recent months. Pakistan accuses Kabul of harboring TTP militants, while Afghan forces say they are responding to Pakistani violations of their sovereignty. Taken together, these dynamics point to a nation under multi-front pressure, all of which challenge the Pakistani state's capacity to maintain stability and the rule of law, a prime challenge for Asim Munir. Nonetheless, the 27th Amendment uproots the already blurry division between the civilian government and military command. Munir will formally emerge as a parallel center of power, weakening any constraint on military overreach. Pakistan's Dawn newspaper noted that this amounts to, and I quote, a permanent legal armor around an unelected office holder, a parallel authority insulated from every rule of law it is sworn to defend. The ruling coalition under Shehbaz Sharif has defended the amendment as necessary modernization to bring Pakistan's armed services into line with challenges of the 21st century and to strengthen judicial efficiency. It argues that the Field Marshal title will be awarded to national heroes and a restructured chain of command would promote coherence. Opposition parties, in particular Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and other smaller democratic groups, have responded strongly. They claim the amendment is designed to cut off future civilian oversight and to cement one-man rule in uniform. Opposition parties are signalling mass protests, legal challenges and constitutional review, heralding a reversion of Pakistan's democratic evolution back to the eras of overt military dominance. Munir's resurgence signals Pakistan's intention to sharpen its military diplomatic messaging in regards to India. His rhetoric about the two-nation theory re-emphasizes a fundamental ideological gulf between India and Pakistan and sets a tone for more uncompromising stances on issues such as Kashmir. Indian diplomacy must now wrestle not only with bilateral issues but also with the ideological layer that Munir is hardening. It strengthens India's framing of Pakistan as a state whose leadership sees Hindus and Muslims as separate nations. It makes the post-Operation Sindhu red lines, deepened by the Jaish links to the Red Fort terror attack, much more prudent. The convergence of Munir's ideological messaging with constitutional military empowerment would only raise the risk threshold for cross-border conflict and proxy engagements. The Sindhu doctrine may now be the only playbook to deal with Asim Munir's Pakistan.